We listen and we don't judge.
Lie.
Your verse.
Okay, so my verse. So, I used a baby bottle until I was an adult.
Which is a lie. The lie
trauma.
detector determined that was a lie.
Listen and we don't judge. I also thought about using my mom's meds to self-medicate. Relatable?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, she did.
Listen and we don't judge.
So I also used to steal my mom's pain medication.
Yep, and you used to harm her physically.
We listen and we don't judge. I also lied to CPS as a child.
She wasn't a child. She was 23
judge.
years old. She had a big age.
While I was in prison.
We listen and we don't judge. I also ran away to my boyfriend's house when I was young. So we listen and we don't judge.
She ran away and stole her mom's money, which is why she went for her.
Wherever books are sold.
The real issue that I have with her going on Kale's podcast is the amount of lies that have been told. Now, I have listened to most of the book, and there's a lot of parts that are lies because she contradicts what she says in the interrogation, what she says in court, what she says on her documentary. It's like 3 or 4 different stories. She said that Nicholas GODEJOHN essayed her, but then she also testified that he did not. How is that okay? She herself testified that he did not. That's a problem. I'll actually show you guys a clip of that later. I'm going to break it down. Also, I just feel as though for some reason the media is allowing her to perpetuate these lies. And there's too many things to prove that she's lying, including the chromosome disorder that she has. Let's actually talk about that. This is the poster child for the chromosome disorder that Gypsy Rose Blanchard has, which is 1Q21.1. And this is a picture of Gypsy Rose in prison. You can see she looks just like the poster child. In fact, when I first saw this pamphlet, I actually thought it was Gypsy, which is why I overlooked it. Now, all of the issues that she said was medical abuse all stems back to this chromosomal disorder. Her mom malingered, so she embellished the issues she had. Gypsy had weak muscle tone, which is why she was in a wheelchair. Similar to the way a toddler gets in a stroller when they get tired, that was the purpose of the wheelchair for Gypsy Rose. But her mom embellished it along with her, because at the time that she unalived her mom, she was 23 years old. Now, some of you might say, well, what about the feeding tube? The feeding tube was from the microdeletion because of a failure to thrive. So she needed it to kind of help with the nutrition. If you look up this chromosomal disorder, you'll see all of this. Now, she acts as if her mom was abusing her medically when all of the surgeries that she had were needed. Even her eyes, if you notice, she does have a lazy eye, and that was one of the surgeries that she had to try to help fix that. Obviously, you see it slightly, but that was one of the surgeries she had, including her salivary glands. I think they removed like 1 or 2 or a couple, but they didn't remove all of her salivary glands. And there's a lot of salivary glands. That's how you know, if you actually do your research, you'll realize that these are obviously lies. And I think the biggest issue that I have as well is the fact that she villainized the man that thought he was saving her. He thought that by unaliving her mom, he was protecting her from abuse, even though she was lying about this abuse. So it's sad because if everybody believes what she's saying, which isn't true, then Nick would be a hero. She lied in her book about him being arrested at McDonald's. He was never arrested. Flat out. There's no record of him ever being arrested. Gypsy continually tells these lies, and this book is full of lies. And the fact that Caitlin put her on her podcast, and a lot of us know that she used this man. She has villainized her mom in her unaliving, and her mom was a fraudster and a con woman, but she took care of Gypsy. And also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but even when she talks about her dad, she was like, oh, you know, I wanted to submit to him, not like a sub. When she talks about, oh, his Cajun, like his voice and like how he sounds, like, y'all listen to that again and tell me what you think. And she also says at the end of the book is for her child. When they're older, they can read it. She actualizes everything in this book, but she wants her child to read that? What are we doing here? Again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I am just tired of her being such a wicked person and someone that's so conniving and manipulative and someone that would do this to their mom and be so diabolical about it and use someone that was collecting a permanent disability check. Because Nicholas GODEJOHN was collecting a permanent disability check. He has autism and a low IQ, and he was collecting a permanent disability check. And she is still communicating with him currently through other people and villainizing him. And he thinks Gypsy cares about him, when all she cares about is herself. How sad is that? Y'all, these are just my thoughts. The more this goes on, the harder it is to cover it, because it's just, like, this point, it's like, when is the media gonna wake up? When are people gonna wake up to this?